is Arunava Chaudhuri and you are on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. It's now been more than 2 days since India suffered a late loss to Hong Kong in the AFC Asian Cup 2027 final round qualifier. And it seems like there is anger in the system, desperation in the system. People are fed up. People don't want to follow Indian football anymore. But there are two things that I feel are key if we are going to learn something out of this situation, if we're going to learn about how to move ahead in a proper way. The first thing very, very clearly, and I've spoken about it in the past, is accountability. There needs to be some level of accountability across the board in Indian football, from the bottom to the top, from the top to the bottom. Because otherwise, anyone, everyone can do whatever they want. And this is one of our biggest problems. On the other side, I think a lot of people need to introspect, look at themselves, look at their work, look at how they're operating things, working things, what they're doing. Because otherwise, you will not be able to create a level of accountability. We've got a very interesting press conference coming up on Friday with the All India Football Federation President Kalyan Chaubey calling it 2 days early and saying, hey, listen, there will be a press conference on Friday. And we can speculate. Will he resign? Will he announce Manolo's departure? Will he say that we will change things? People are saying, will he give lollipops? Will he gaslight? Will we have the OCI topic? The whole spectrum could be talked about, could be discussed. But to me, if Kalyan has learned anything over the last few days, has understood anything over the last few days, he will try to introspect and make himself at least a little bit accountable. I have my doubts, but I like to be surprised by human beings. Because that is the most important thing what we need. There are allegations. I've done this earlier video on the blame game. Now, the latest one is Sunil Chhetri, who is getting a lot of hate on the net. But the question is, all the players, the coaches, people around the national team, the national team department, the All India Football Federation in general, need to be accountable. But it doesn't stop there. The whole ecosystem is accountable. Because I said yesterday in the blame game video, if you want to play the blame game, you have to look at yourself, introspect and say, what have I contributed to the system, or what have I maybe not contributed to the system? The AIFF and the Indian national team are the final product at the top. And if we don't lay the foundations, if we don't build strong foundations, which in football terms means we've got young footballers who learn the basics of football, be it tactically, be it especially technically, work on nutrition, work on other things, we will not be able to be successful. And that is my big fear, because deflection and saying, he's done this or they've done that. You wash your hands of your own misdeeds, mistakes, wrong decisions. I know in life, it's very often an issue. When you are in the moment, when you're working, you sometimes feel, I am right. I am doing right what I feel, what I think, what I believe in also. But afterwards, if you're honest to yourself, you would say, maybe I could have done something differently. That is sports. In the heat of the moment, you might do something, you might say something which you regret afterwards. And that is where we need to get to. I know it's high psychology. I know that these things are perceived sometimes to be weaknesses, but I think it's strength. You should learn from your defeats, from your losses, from your mistakes. If you think that you've done a mistake and you can do it again next time around, you haven't learned anything, because life is a learning lesson. Indian football needs people who are willing to understand, introspect, and then be accountable for their actions. And I would be willing to excuse mistakes if people honestly say, you know what, I thought this and this and this is right, but it turned out to be wrong. It was my mistake. It was my error of judgment. Maybe I'm expecting too much from other people, what I expect from myself. But this is what I think, what I believe needs to happen. Otherwise, Indian football can and will never move forward. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? Do you got any other viewpoints? Write those down in the comments below. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias. Visit arunfoot.com. And I'll be back very soon. So Arunava Chaudhuri signing off. Bye.